Good morning, everyone. Here we go again. Got Bite here. He's ready for his live stream. As you're spraying drool all over the place, you always do that. He gets all this drool in his jowls and he shakes his head and it just like all over the place. Gross, dude. You're gross. I don't want someone to drool on me. I get a dog. Yes. Yeah, I got to clean my glasses every once in a while, too. I think we're supposed to get into the upper 60s today. It was really warm yesterday. We got into the upper 80s, but then it was nice and warm when I got out of work last night. But now it's like in the 60s again. Got to be careful. Yours are broken. Okay. Yeah, I had to deal with that on mine too. The little clip right here, this little frame goes around and there's like a screw that goes through here. And that little piece broke a few weeks ago. But you know about that. I did a vlog on the subject. I was hearing about what was happening in California too. They said like in a 24-hour period, they had 12 inches of rain. That's unheard of. I've never heard of that happening in California. I saw Nibble peeking her head around the corner, but she's already gone back into her room. That was like Central California. My mom says she's getting some rain there too, but it isn't quite as bad. She's more Northern California. Wow. She's doing better. She's out of the hospital now and doing a lot of rehab. They got her in a nursing home kind of as a midway point before she goes back into her apartment. And she's doing rehab all the time. She's not a fan of that. He turn his head to us, Next to that, we'll move in here and you can look at this ugly mug for a while. Oh, that's sweet, Rhonda. I'm glad to hear that. She'll be happy to hear that too. She appreciates the thoughts and prayers and asks for them to continue, but she's definitely doing a lot better. I didn't hear about the rock slide, but that doesn't surprise me. That usually happens when it rains in California. Wow. You're just a camera hog, aren't you? You're not the center of attention. You're just not interested. The girls say Nana can come stay there again and they'll take good care of her. I'm sure you guys would. Yeah, I don't know. Let's look at the radar, see what's happening in California right now. Isn't the internet grand? Yeah, it seems like it's all there's what they call an atmospheric river. and it's just basically it's a river of water in a long stream, probably 100 miles wide or so, 50 miles wide, that's coming ashore just kind of south of San Francisco right now. You can see it right there. Yeah, my mom's more up in this area up here. Yeah, there's a lot of action going on here. And then of course all this pink here is where they got like winter storm warning. I think that's like snow and stuff like that. Yeah, winter storm warning is what they call that. And you can see kind of where the green turns to white up here. That's where it's actually turning into snow. So there is a lot of snow there. If California had the means of collecting this water and saving it, they'd actually be in really good shape right now. But the snowpack is going to help a lot. California has always been kind of a desert, but unfortunately, what is it they say? When it rains, it pours. Well, it's pouring. Yeah, that's sort of an important thing that you get some sleep. Logan says don't tell Nana that they prayed at mass today. I'm sure she'll appreciate that because I know Jeff Kidd has offered up prayers for my mom too. Good morning, Kimberly. Okay, so you're getting pounded by the rain, huh, Yvonne? Yeah, I can imagine it wouldn't be fun. It's even more exciting when it snows, and we get a little of that here too. That's sweet, Logan. Thank you very much for doing that. I know Nana says that too. I know she's very, very happy that everyone is praying for her. Yeah, but you live in Canada, so it always kind of snows there. It's something a little unusual where my mom lives. Okay, so Yuan says the California radar shows where you are. Did you say you're in Arizona? Oh, not in Arizona. Okay. Sorry, I got to read this. I got to read with more of a focus on comprehension. Hi, Jill. Thanks for stopping in from Australia. That's awesome. 2:30 in the morning. You're a trooper. You're breaching your levees in Central Cal. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I heard Central California, like in a 24-hour period, got like 12 inches of rain. That's going to definitely cause issues. Oh, that's where you were before you moved to Arizona. Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking, Arizona looks actually pretty dry right now. That's kind of all of Arizona right there. You kind of see it right along here. Not a lot going on there. And as we move over into Texas here, not a lot going on here either. But that's okay. We had a little rain this past week. You saw the video. Yeah, well, you saw the video if you watch Facebook. All the more reason to join the Facebook page, people, because I put stuff up there that I don't put up on the channel always. Yeah, I still got a little chunk of ice here. Like I said, I put my water in the freezer for a little while before I drink it. And I usually has a little thin layer of ice on it and it hasn't completely melted. Yeah, it was. I mean, they've been predicting maybe severe weather all day that day, and I got off of work that night and I looked at the radar right before I went out and said, "Oh, it's raining a little bit," and I came out and it was just kind of dripping a little bit. It wasn't much at all, and I figured that was the end of it, and I didn't really pay that much attention to it, and I went to bed, and um, it got it about an hour after I went to bed, the I heard the weather radio go off. Actually, I got woken up a little bit because I started hearing thunder in the distance, and I figured, oh, maybe we're gonna have a little storm coming in. A couple of minutes later, the weather radio goes off, and at that point, I started, my eyes were open, and I was starting to see the flash of lightning, and I said, I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to go to work tomorrow, but no, I got to go out and videotape this. So yeah, I was outside in the rain doing that. Did I see the yard art posted in what, my yard art? Yard art? No, I got that on a vlog I went to when I brought the clock up to get repaired. Yeah, you don't usually hear about thunder and lightning in a snowstorm. Oh yeah, anything for my viewers. Actually, personally, I just love being out in the storm. So, it was sort of for me, but when something like that happens, I want to share it with you too. I just love it when it rains. Always have. My mom does too. She's the same way. Can't sleep. Yeah, there has to be a good reason for being up at 2:30 in the morning. Oh, I guess I did see that. Yeah, I think I did see that posting. Let's go here to, let's see here. Facebook doesn't always make it easy to find stuff on your cell phone. Yeah, okay, yeah, I saw that. Oh, yeah, it's a video, right? Of the pie shop. Yeah, that was the video I posted the other night of the rainstorm. Look at the lightning on that. Let's see, rotate it, get it to. Oh, and then of course it goes off the screen. How nice of them. My chair out there getting all wet. Look at that lightning. How awesome is that? I love that about Texas. We don't get, never got a lot of lightning and thunder. And what's with the movie and CD in the background? That's a clue about the video I'm going to shoot today. There's a connection between those two. And if you know what the connection is, you know where I'm going, what I'm going to do today. Now, you won't see it until next week, but oh, okay, you posted another one. The movie is The Wizard of Oz. So if you know what the connection is between The Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, you know what I'm going to do for my video today. If you don't, Google it. Yeah, the only one I see about you from you is the pie shop. I don't know. No, it's not The Wall by Pink Floyd. It's Dark Side of the Moon. And there's a connection between this album and that movie. And I've heard about it for years and years and years. And today I'm going to experiment with it and see what happens. Dark Side of the Moon was is probably one of the most successful albums in terms of like the Billboard Top 200 albums. It stayed on the top 200 list for like 15 or 16 years. Yeah, Google Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon in one phrase. You'll know exactly what we're doing. I like to leave little subtle hints about what upcoming videos are going to be about. I've always wondered about it myself, and today we're going to find out. My mom's doing good. She's out of the hospital. She's kind of in a nursing home right now. They're doing a bunch of physical therapy right now because she's been off her feet for a while. She's been on physical therapy for a number of years right now because she had her knee replaced, oh, probably 6 or 7 years ago. And there were all sorts of complications with that. And then she broke her leg as a result of it. And it's just been a really tough road back. And now, being in the hospital for a couple of weeks, she's kind of lost some ground on that. So she's doing a lot of physical therapy. It's very painful, but she's trying to keep a good spirit and knows that she's got to do it to get past where she is and back to where she was. But she was making a lot of progress. She could get around on her with her walker pretty well, which was definitely an improvement from when I saw her the previous time. Yeah, everybody's Googling it. Yeah, I know. I hope Google gives me some ad revenue for just steering a bunch of people to their site. Okay, so no website, but you posted photos. Let's see if we can find it here. Last one I see is Rhonda saying yesterday that she'll be here today. Let's see if that updated it. Oh, there we go. Like pottery, huh? So I'd be more looking for things that would be outside. Although some of this stuff could be outside. Get kind of a finish on it. Yeah, that clock belonged to my grandmother for I don't know how long. It had been in her house as long as I remember. And so when she passed away in 2001, I got it. Your grandmother had a clock which looked like a ship with metal sails. That sounds pretty cool. I don't know. Pink Floyd denies it. They said they never that there was no connection between the movie and the album. In fact, they said the album was more about Sound of Music. But I don't know. Like I said, there's so many people talking about it. I had to check it out for myself. And of course, I got the technology to take it a step further, so we're going to do that. But I don't want to tell you too much about it. You'll have to wait and see. Helping you get strong when you're healed, so they can fit you with a prosthesis. Okay, that's good. That'll definitely help you become a little bit more mobile. The girls are scared of the flying monkeys. Yeah, I know. They kind of scared me a little bit too. Yeah, I'm really glad I stopped by that place because I've been in that town a bunch of times because I've done a few vlogs that either were in town or required me to drive through town. And I saw the place each time I went through, and I kept meaning to stop there. And that place was amazing. And like I said, I love those things I found for the yard. Yeah, my mom's sort of the same way, Kathy. She gets really frustrated and bored in there. She's not one to really necessarily watch a lot of TV anymore. Uh, and daytime TV on is horrible. And she said the food is horrible, and so I think she's glad to be out. Wizard of Oz Barbie. You got every kind of Barbie. At least every kind of Barbie there probably is. Yeah, I'm getting a few pieces of yard art in the backyard. I'd have to move some of it into the front. You don't collect the newer ones. Not it. The quality's gone down. I know how that is. Sometimes it's the old stuff that's great, and then When people start realizing, oh, hey, there's a collectible, there's a market for this collectible stuff, and all of a sudden it's like they just start churning stuff out and it's junk. I get it. You like the vintage stuff. Yeah, I hear you. It's kind of like modern music. Modern music is kind of horrible too. It's the vintage stuff that's great. But I think that's common with everybody. Everybody kind of prefers the music from their kid when they were kids, and they don't necessarily get today's music. There just aren't a whole lot of things out there that are a lot of bands out there today that are producing just don't produce anything I'm interested in. Although every once in a while I do discover something. I went to that Flaming Lips concert with Jordan last summer and saw Particle Kid. That's a relatively new band and that's pretty cool. Yeah, I never was into rap or hip hop. For one thing, I don't really think it's music. It's just it's rhythm and poetry. It's funny though. I don't like all the music from when I was a youth. You know, I was growing up kind of during the disco era. I can't stand that. Uh, in the at the time, like in the early '80s, when it was kind of the new wave stuff, where everything was keyboards and drum machines. Like I was into it at the time, but it never, I thought, stood up to the test of time. And I can't think of any of those bands during that time that I still listen to. I think the only thing during that era that I like some of the punk stuff. So I like, X was great and Dead Kennedys and Devo. A lot of people don't get Devo. But the problem is most people only know one song from Devo. Devo is actually one of the most underrated bands of the '80s, I think. Oh yeah, I don't really follow football that much, but '95, wow. It's not like it was a someone who died unusually young. Never was really into Joe Satriani. No, never saw the Professor of Rock on YouTube. Never even heard of him. Got all your '70s and '80s vinyls. See, I didn't really start getting into music until about the mid '80s, and at that point, I was so into compact discs that that's what I did. Everything was compact discs, and so I got a massive collection of compact discs, and maybe 50 albums or something like that. And most of those are Guided by Voices albums that I bought, you know, after 2000. It's funny. The New York Times did an article once where I was interviewed for it about Guided by Voices, and one of the comments they made is, I have at the time I had 8 copies of the same album, paid an average about $300 a piece for them, and they commented they thought it was weird because I don't even have a turntable to play them on. I still don't have one. Yeah, Robert Blake too. Journey, I was into Journey at the time, but that was another band that I thought just never did held up. And then I think the lead singer left the band, and that was the end of that. Never got too much into Boston. There was great stuff in the '70s. great stuff in the '60s. Uh, but like in the '80s, it was after kind of the punk movement died down. It really wasn't a whole lot to get into. I mean, what do you do? What are you gonna do? Listen to Culture Club in excess? Bangles, Dramarama. I wasn't really into any of those. You met Boy George? That'd been kind of funny. I hear his career just kind of went downhill. Last I heard, he was like a trash man or something. See, I was into the Eagles a little bit too, but you know, the Eagles got played to death on the radio, and that's one surefire way to make me not be into something is to just play it to death. And the Eagles, Hotel California, just it got played almost on constant rotation. It's like I just got burned out on it. Fleetwood Mac, they had their moments, but even they don't really hold up. I think over time. After the punk movement died, I kind of listened to music kind of on the periphery and didn't really start getting into it again until like the early '90s with the grunge movement. I was way into like Soundgarden and Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Mudhoney, Screaming Trees, Smashing Pumpkins. I know Smashing Pumpkins aren't really grunge, but they were kind of the same time. Yeah, not really into the Sparks either. They had their moments. Who do I think is the overall best band of all time? I don't know. Probably it's probably cliche, but probably the Beatles. But there were a lot of great bands in that time period. The Birds had their moments. Paul Revere and the Raiders were pretty cool. Hendrix, of course, can't be a fan of '60s music if you don't like Hendrix. Janis, The Doors, The Stones to some extent. I like some of their stuff and not others. The Jacksons, yeah, Jackson Five were pretty good. They had their moments. I find I like more of the Motown stuff now than I did at the time. Yardbirds, yeah, that's another good one. There was another band that arose in I think 1967. Never really made it that big, but they were called the Monks. They were pretty cool. I always thought that they were the first punk band because you listen to their music, it sounds like punk rock with a banjo. Boy George making an appearance on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Was he one of the Real Housewives? James Brown, yeah, James Brown had his moments too. He was great on the Blues Brothers. Yeah, Carpenters were good too. I like the Carpenters. friend of the of one of the housewives. Okay, ABBA. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I do like ABBA. He kind of got lumped in with that disco movement because of Dancing Queen, but they had some pretty good poppy songs too. Yvonne's not a fan of ABBA. I think I really discovered, that I liked ABBA at the point where um, they did what was the movie, the play in the movie. Yeah, I was more into early Pink Floyd than later Pink Floyd. I got over Pink Floyd after Roger left, and even the final cut I don't think was that good of an album. I like their really early stuff. I like Umaguma. I like Metal. I like Animals. Animals is my favorite Pink Floyd album. Dark Side of the Moon is good. Wish You Were Here is good. The Wall is good. Beach Boys had their moments too. It all kind of sounded the same, I thought, but yeah, I never was really into the Buckinghams. Yeah, Pet Sounds is a great album. I have Pet Sounds. I think that's the only Beach Boys album I have. I had a best of at one point. I don't think I have that anymore. My mom was way into the Beach Boys, and I think I might have given it to her. Yeah, I never, like I said, never was really into that much into Fleetwood Mac or Stevie Nicks. Herman's Hermits, that's a good one. Yeah. See, that's what the topic of this live stream is going to be is music, your favorite albums. Did my dad enjoy really any contemporary music? No, my mom was a little bit more open to contemporary music to an extent. She didn't. Like I said, she liked the Beach Boys and stuff like that. Monkeys, I love the Monkeys, but not like their really popular songs. Some of the more obscure ones. Randy Scouse Kid is a good Monkeys song. Willie Nelson has his moments, but he's a little too country for me. Well, she'll see that comment, Spaniel Mom. So never had a crush on Davy, but I'm sure that comment wasn't for me. Yeah, see that wasn't. I don't think that was. I don't think "Hey Hey We're the Monkeys" was that great of a song. But I got like a best of the Monkeys, and a lot of those. "Last Train to Clarksville" is a great song. I know that Mickey Dolenz was a kid actor on certain. No, I didn't. Yeah, well, I mean, he's been at least since the '60s, since the TV show. I got a DVD of some Monkeys episodes. Yeah, I think my sister had a crush on. Yeah, it wasn't David Cassidy. She was into Sean Cassidy, which I guess is his brother. Yeah, so Rondo would have been competing with my sister for Sean Cassidy. I think my sister had like a Sean Cassidy poster in her room. Roberta was also into Donny Osmond. There we go. Carried a picture in your wallet. Nice. Boy, Sean Cassidy is just somebody that just disappeared from the world, didn't he? Yikes. Foot and a half of snow in Saskatchewan and 50-mile-an-hour winds. Yikes. Ronda's got a Donny Osmond Barbie. That's not surprising. And Marie too, huh? Yeah, I would suppose you'd have to have the pair. The purple socks, huh? You gonna come up and visit? Or are you just gonna sit down there and go meow? Suppose if I pull the kitty treats out, that would be come on, you gotta come up and get it. It's not gonna eat itself. You can see his head going up and down as I used to watch Emergency on TV too. That was one of my favorite shows at the time. No, not gonna come up? Fine. Then you don't get it. John Denver had his moments. I listened to a little John Denver at the time. He decided he wasn't going to come up, and so he's trying to grab it with his paw. He jumped at it, but he missed it. It's just out of reach, isn't it? I just really kind of nailed that position, didn't I? Let's see now. Is it worth exerting the energy it would take to get that food? I guess not, huh? Come on. I used to watch Adam 12 too. It's funny, a friend of mine lived down the block, was related to Kent McCord on Adam 12. It was his like uncle. His name was Brent McCord. It was his dad's brother. And his dad looked just like him, kind of an older version of him. Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, I love the Dukes of Hazzard too. In fact, that's a TV series that if I ever find a good, reasonably priced DVD of the series, I'd pick it up. There's a couple of um, there's a couple of TV shows that I'm still looking for good inexpensive. Every once in a while, you find like, they'll sell a whole series for 20 or 30 bucks. You can get the Dukes of Hazzard the entire series, but you're gonna pay more than $100 for it, and that's a little too much. And I guess it's one of those series that's probably a little too politically incorrect these days, where anybody is going to take the opportunity to repress it into a bargain format. Haven't seen a lot of Strawberries yet, but it's still really early in the season. Yeah, Jordan tried to get me a little into Arrested Development. That one never took. You're just hanging in like a trooper there, Jill. Appreciate it. The Office had its moments too, but there was one thing about the shooting of that show that annoyed me. I didn't like the sudden zooms in and out and all that. That made me seasick. All the hand camera work and stuff like that. That was a filming technique I wasn't a fan of. That was another one Jordan tried to get me into. How's my mom doing? She's better. She's out of the hospital, and in a rehab place now, and she's doing PT all the time. And she's got it's going to take her a little while to get back to where she was because she's been off her feet for a few weeks, but she's doing much better. In fact, I expect a telephone call from her later on today. Oh, Laura Lee's back. Haven't seen you in a few weeks. Binge watched Peter Gunn last week. I'm plowing through Entourage. That's one of my TV shows that I really like. I think I started season 6 last night. Yeah, it's too bad the Dukes of Hazzard. It was such a great show. I also want to find a good bargain copy of Night Court. That show was incredibly funny. I watched Miami Vice at the time, but that was not one I think that held up. I like some reality TV, but a lot of the reality TV shows that I like are like do-it-yourself shows. So, a lot of the home improvement shows, which are, I guess, not really reality TV, but I still enjoyed some of those. But I like American Chopper. That was a great show. Um, a lot of fun. watching them build all these things. Yeah, I know, and that's really sad that they canceled Dukes of Hazzard just because of the Confederate flag on top of the General Lee. In fact, it's funny. Jordan and I, before I moved to Texas, we Jordan and I went to the Peterson Automotive Museum in Hollywood, and in the uh, gift shop afterwards, they had a bunch of like model cars that you could get, and one of them was the General Lee. And Jordan commented on that. Oh yeah, look, it's a General Lee. And I said, yeah, but it's missing the Confederate flag on the roof. A lot of comments blowing through here, so I don't want to miss anything. John watched a couple episodes of Entourage, never got into it. Same with Breaking Bad. Yeah, I tried Breaking Bad, never got into that either. But Entourage, Jordan got me into that one. I'm hooked. That's a great show. I can turn that show on and binge watch it start to finish. I even have the movie. Starsky and Hutch, never really watched that a whole lot. This Old House, I watched that a little bit, but that was more into Um, I got more into the home improvement shows that kind of came after that. I remember my favorites were like Homes on Homes and Fixer Upper with Chip and Joanna. And there were a lot of shows like on Discovery and uh, Discovery Channel and stuff like that. And I watched a lot of those. That's how I learned to do a lot of the stuff around the house is by watching those. Yeah, Flintstones were a takeoff on the Honeymooners. That's right. I think the only fruit bushes I tried growing were like the blueberry, blackberry, and raspberry bushes, and they didn't make it. Never saw Sons of Anarchy. Hey, there's someone I know. Yeah, Entourage. Jordan, like I said earlier, Jordan got me into Entourage. I'm plowing through it right now. I'm on what season 5 when Turtle's dating Jamie Lynn Siegler. I think the one I watched last night was the one where Vince got a Martin Scorsese picture. I like the ups and downs of that. That's a really great show. Rhonda likes the Jersey Shore tape shows, huh? Yeah, I never tried any of that. Hi, Kevin. My mom's doing good. She's out of the hospital, kind of in a um, like in a rehab place now, kind of a mid level before she goes back into her apartment. They want to get her back on her feet a little bit, so she's doing a lot of PT, and yeah, she's doing better. I think she's back on solid foods now. She was on the live stream last week. Yeah, I think you mentioned that you went to high school with Jeremy Piven uh, back in the day. Yeah, I guess there's two kinds of people in the world: those who think Breaking Bad is great, and those who aren't fans. I tried a few episodes; it just didn't do it for me. You'll post this, but cool. I'd love to see his picture. That'd be funny. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, my mom really appreciates the prayers, so keep them coming. Yeah, see, I never got into Friends either. Although I got to admit, I never really gave it much of a chance. What's my favorite A Team episode? Oh man, that'd be a hard one. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. Yeah, I think I tried watching 30 something too, and that didn't do it for me either. TV show I was a huge fan of was Alf. Who watched Alf? That show was hilarious. Yeah, I love it when a plan comes together. My favorite character was Murdoch, though. No, I didn't watch any of that Murdoch trial. Yeah, I don't know. I never could identify with the characters in Friends. I got a friend at a job I had a number of years ago used to try and get me into Prison Break. I never saw that. Let's see here. What was that? Okay, it's time to turn off you. Yeah, I got all these apps right now that all of a sudden they're starting to send me ads on the mail. It's like I don't want anything to do with you. I don't download your ads so you can start your apps so you can start sending me junk mail. Netflix, Dallas, Dynasty, and Knots Landing. I watched Dallas for a while. Never checked out the others. You got into YouTube watching Jordan do his old Hollywood. Yeah, yeah. I never watched Falcon Crest either. Thunderbirds. That was a little before my time. No, not really. Never got into 24 either. Well, I appreciate that everybody watches lots of YouTube these days. West Wing. No, never watched West Wing. Seinfeld, the show about nothing. I watched a couple episodes. The only one that I ever watched that I ever remember thought was even remotely funny was um, they'd gone out to a restaurant and apparently the valet had horrible body odor And when they got into the car, it was basically everybody getting in the car, and it was just the same gag over and over again. They'd all get in the car and go. It was like, yeah, really? No, sorry. Billy Jack. I remember watching that way back when. Sopranos. Okay, yeah, I never got into that. I was never into the whole mobster thing. Yeah, I agree. You have to like the characters. Cheers. I watched a few episodes of Cheers. Never was into that. Actually, I visited. I was in Boston once, and there's a bar in the Boston Commons, right off the Boston Commons, that um, the TV series was based on. I went there once when I was in Boston. That was kind of fun. I was there for a business trip and staying right there in the Boston Commons and visited that place. And I was going to be there in late October, so somebody I worked with said, you got to take a trip to Salem, Massachusetts. And I said, oh yeah, I'm doing that. That was a blast. Doing funeral homes, so you love 6 feet under. Yeah, well, that's how that works. I watch Knight Rider too. Never watched Brothers and Sisters. Yeah, Seinfeld. I hope. I had hoped that that was going to be good. So I remember watching the first one because I like Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian. But I don't know, HR Puff and stuff. Oh man, that was. I love that show. In fact, a few years ago, it was on Netflix, and I was, even as an adult, I was kind of binge watching that. That was such a weird show, such a great show. I wish I was back on Netflix. Yeah, Witchy Poo and Jimmy and his magic flute and the talking trees and my mom's doing a lot better, Mark. Thanks for asking. Yeah, she's out of the hospital now, kind of in a rehab place. They're doing a lot of um, they're doing a lot of like PT with her right now, trying to get her back to the point where she can go back to her apartment and be kind of semi-independent. Not any road trips planned in the future right now, but that could happen. I was just thinking the other day, it's probably time for me to take a trip to visit Jordan. Why am I not on Netflix? Well, I subscribe to Netflix, but um, I don't know. I don't know if Netflix would take me. I watched Little House on the Prairie back when I was a kid. Yeah, Dark Shadows never got into that. I still want to do I still want to do like a Yellowstone trip, and that may happen this year. Like I said, I want to go visit Jordan too, so we want to do. I want to do that too. I tried watching a little bit of the Chris Rock special, didn't get into it. I gave probably 30 or 40 minutes of it. No, I didn't drop watching Netflix. I still have Netflix. I dropped TV. Yeah, I watched Batman too. Oh, you watch HR Puffin stuff on YouTube? Okay. Yeah, I never watched Yellowstone, the TV show. A lot of people really like that. Yeah, I haven't been able to watch Will Smith since then. I mean, I got a bunch of movies that he's in, but even then, I wasn't. I never was horribly impressed with him as an actor because he's basically the same character in every movie he does. This cocky, arrogant, sure of himself guy. Just he's the Fresh Prince of Bel Air and everything he's in. In Independence Day, he was the Fresh Prince in Independence Day, and Fresh Prince and Men in Black, and Fresh Prince and I Robot, and I don't know what else do I have that he's in. Hancock was a pretty funny movie. Yeah, a lot of people I've heard really like Yellowstone too. The only reason you have cable is because of hockey. Okay, well, that's important. Never watched the new version of Battlestar Galactica. I was into the first one. Yeah, I grew up with the campy Adam West Batman too, and never was really that into the Batman movies that came after. They were a little too dark for me. Maybe it's just because I grew up with campy Batman, and the rest of it just seemed kind of I don't know, off-putting. I guess would be the word. More than halfway through the live stream, I'm just finishing up my first glass of water. No, the old TV has been working fine ever since I put it back in. There hasn't been a problem with it. So I don't know. We're gonna play it by ear. No sense spending money on it if I don't need to. Maybe it just need to be taken apart, moved around. Sometimes that's you get some funky connection in there, it gets flexed one way. Let's face it, I drove that thing from California to Texas, and who knows, maybe something got shifted out of position when I did that, and then moving it out here and moving it back there, shifted it back into position. It's worked perfectly ever since. So yeah, I'm a huge original Twilight Zone fan. You want Big Sky? I've never heard of it. Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing Adam West on Family Guy. He was funny. How's the vodka? Yummy. Jill's going to stop commenting, but going to keep watching. Yeah, we'll help you go to sleep, Jill. Thanks for stopping in. Good talking to you. Yeah, I haven't really got into Mayfair witches. Anne Rice fan. Okay. Can I talk about the possible promotion? Basically, I think at this point they're talking about moving me to something called Tech 2. And so I don't know exactly what that means. I guess it probably means I'll keep doing what I'm doing, but get more money for doing it. Um, I haven't heard anything specific. I got my annual review from my boss last week and got a really good review. Got a nice little bonus with that. And we talked about the Tech 2 thing then, and he says that that's probably going to happen. I also heard my lead um, said to me the other day that she overheard my boss talking in the meeting that somebody in the department was about to move to the next level, and that's got to be me. So it's coming. It's just a matter of what happens. Right now, what they really like about me is, in addition to being able to run the machine, there's several other positions that usually have like one or two people that do it, and I can do most of those positions, and I'm learning the one that I can't do right now. So my boss has said on a number of occasions that I'm one of the most versatile employees in his department. So I think he appreciates that, and I think he wants to keep me because he's having a hard time keeping people because the work is hard, it's grueling, it's long hours, there's a lot of pressure. You got to be perfect all the time, and I think a lot of people just the pressure gets to them eventually, and they say I can't do this, and they move to another department that's less pressure, and so he appreciates the fact that you know, not only am I in there and I'm reliable, I come in every day, but that, you know, I want to learn new things. And I think he appreciates what I bring to the company. So, I'll let you know when it happens, definitely. Let's see. During that rant here, I missed a bunch here. Where's Bite now? Bite was out here a minute ago, but he just went back to his bedroom. Yeah, I thought it might have been just an unplug or plug in and unplug thing, but when the TV would start turning on in the middle of the night, I did unplug it. And so it was unplugged for like 2 months and it still had that problem. So I don't think that was the problem. Something, I agree with you. A lot of times, a lot of problems like that can be solved that way. And, but I don't think this was the case. Because if you watch that video, and I actually had the camera on there and showed it, when it was started flipping around to the different inputs. That was after it had been unplugged for several months. And then I moved it out here into the living room, did my little testing with it, couldn't duplicate the problem, moved it back in there, and it hasn't been a problem since. So I think it was some weird loose connection. Maybe something got jarred loose, and maybe when I moved it around, I popped it back into place. And I don't know. That's my going theory right now. Haven't seen Jeff. You're right. He's usually here. Yeah, I think the promotion is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. You know, my boss knows about it. His boss knows about it. I'm hearing rumors that they're talking about it. So, yeah, I think it'll just happen. Can't stand Family Guy. Yeah, I watched Family Guy for a while. I wasn't that into it. I tried Futurama too. Never got that much into it. You know, I wanted to give that one a chance because I was a huge Simpsons fan, and it was the same people that did that. But I don't think it was as good. Yeah, it makes it easy to put in those grueling hours when I feel really appreciated. You know, it's just nice to have the boss come up to me and say, "What do you think?" You know, on something, or how should we deal with this? Oh, I think we should do that. Okay, we'll do that. You know, they appreciate and respect my opinion. So, Rhonda's got a stalker at the store. Yeah, that's a drag. That's true. We haven't talked about food yet. We've been talking about music that we like. We've been talking about TV shows that we like. Yeah, the Peter fighting with a chicken, the reoccurring issue of that is pretty funny. You're making lasagna. I love lasagna. I'm so happy I have my mom's recipe for that. Yeah, well, I mean, it restores my own self confidence because I never could get Disney to acknowledge that. Disney just, they didn't like me for some reason. I don't know what it was. You know, I always worked hard for them. They never could point to anything where, you know, they had any problems with me. They just didn't like me. Always wanted to learn do new things. Tacos. I guess I've learned to like street tacos. Never tried seafood lasagna. I don't know. You go ask Disney. I don't know. I never understood it either. I mean, you know, if I was a horrible employee, that's fine. But I thought I did good work. You know, I just like look at my current place. I learned every position in the department. In fact, at one point, I was the only person in the department that was a trainer that could train every position in the department. So that meant I know not only knew the job, I could train people to do it. You know, there's some people that could train you to drive floats, do the crew positions and stuff like that. But I was the only one qualified to train everybody, train anybody on anything. You like the last bite nibble, but that was a good meal. I got 4 or 5 meals out of that. I've been thinking recently that that would probably also be good with like shrimp instead of chicken. Yeah, I really think that's what it is, John. Because, you know, the management in the parades department, they totally sucked up to the performers, but didn't really have any place for the rest of us. And I think that's a big part of the problem. All of the management in that team were people who used to be performers, and the performers, they looked at the rest of us like they're servants. And a lot of times, I think that kind of mentality stayed with them when they went into management, and they said, these guys aren't worthy of management. Only performers are worthy of management. I think that was part of it. Well, I think that might be it also, Lindex. That because I sat there and watched the people that they did give opportunities to, and I sat there and looked at these performers that were now managers, and they were all idiots. You know, you really look at it, you can't point to anything that they actually did that improved the company. They just, imposed a policy, and any change or any improvements that came from outside. And so, and they marginally got it through, but they none of those ideas were their own. And I think that ultimately was a factor in it. And then when they did promote people, they promoted people that were dumber than them. And I mean, you follow that progression. That's just not gonna last long. You're not. That's not sustainable. You can't keep promoting people who are dumber than you. Okay, Laura Lee, we need a great joke. Tell us your great joke. Thanks for stopping in, Kevin. Good talking to you. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd like to think that it was Disney's loss too, but what's Disney's loss is my current company's win. Well, that was one of the arguments I made one time. The performers are nothing without us. You know, those of us who drove the floats could perform a more interesting show than the performers could. We could perform better show without them than the performers could perform without us. Because without us, there's no floats, there's no music, there's no costumes. It's just and there's no choreography. So it's just a bunch of entitled narcissists walking down the street with their hands at their side. Nobody's going to watch that. At least if you drove the floats down the parade route, people would stop and watch. And some jobs it is about kissing the right butt, but I'm happy that this place isn't. They're judging me based on the work that I do. What do dogs and trees have in common? They both have bark. You heard that one, Charlotte and Logan? Are you laughing on the floor now? I mean, I know it's not a white dog in the mud, but that's still pretty funny. I think you're right, Kevin. A lot of times they were intimidated by somebody who was smarter than them because they were afraid that that person was going to make them look bad. I think that's a big factor. We like jokes that we can give the girls that are not ones that are naughty. Because I mean, there's a lot of naughty jokes out there too. But oh, I'm way happier here at my current job, and the job is just a small part of it. I mean, I'm very happy with the job too, but I just love Texas. This is so much better a place for me. I love the weather. I love the prices. I love the people. It's just it was a good move, all around. Just everything worked out according to plan. Thanks for stopping in, Connie. It's good talking to you. Gene's got to go to church too. Yeah, we usually lose Gene about this time. So have a good church, Gene. Yeah, you're right, Tracy. Without the rest of us, there is no entertainment. If I were going to fix up the California Adventure Parades department, I'd fire two managers, and I mean I know which ones I'd do. I'm not going to name them, but I know which two I would fire, and I would replace them with one from parade support and one from costuming, so you can get that point of view into the management structure. What the white dog in the mud? That was Jessica's joke. Okay, I thought that was uh, Charlotte's joke. Laura Lee made that joke up herself. There you go. Variant on that is how our dogs and trees the same. They both can be a little rough. That's right. I'm here all week. Have I met any other Californians who moved to Waco? There's somebody I work with who not only came from California, she worked at Disneyland, and we're in the same department at work. How odd is that? She was in retail on Disneyland side, and I never met her over there. But my boss made it a point to mention that to me. It's like, yeah, do you know that this person also worked at Disneyland? No. But I mean, I suppose it was going to happen. That's entirely possible. Disney is the largest employer in California, so it doesn't surprise me that two people would leave Disney in California and come to Texas and then run into each other. Isn't Texas the new California? God, I hope not, because I don't want Texas to become California. It even affects the way I vote. There's things that I think maybe I wouldn't mind having them be a policy, but I started thinking about it. It's like, yeah, that's too much like California. I'm not going to vote for that because I don't want to move Texas in that direction. It's a small world, but no, I mean, Texas is still very Texas. I think if Californians are moving to Texas, they're moving to the blue parts of the state. They're moving to Austin. They're moving to Dallas. This part of Texas is still very red. And I don't mind people moving from California to Texas over taxes if they leave the mentality behind. But the problem is some of them are like locusts. They consume everything in California and then they leave because they don't like what California's turned into. And then they come to Texas and they vote the same way. That's insane. There's a word for that. That's a leech or a locust. That song is the one you hate most in the entire world. Yeah, I don't know. It does get on your nerves after a while. Where you live, they call you idiots. Oh man, yeah, Gavin Newsom, he's horrible. But you know what? As long as he stays in California, then he can ride it right down the sewer with him. And I mean, California never seems to pick up on that either. They keep getting worse and worse. I mean, you had Governor Moonbeam, and he was horrible, and then Newsom's even worse. I mean, what are they going to do next? How much worse can it get? I've been hearing there's an issue with feral hogs in certain parts of Texas. Fortunately, not here. Haven't seen a single feral hog. We do have Beto, though. That's almost as bad. AKA Robert Francis O'Rourke. Having problems with coyotes. Yes, there is. Don't worry, be happy. Probably the second worst song in the world after Small World. I've heard rumors about President Newsom too. I'm hoping that America is smart enough to not go down that rabbit hole, but I don't know. Ow. Can you come up here? Yeah, that's just what we need. President Markle. Come on. Come on up, bite. Come up and visit. No, it's not enough to stick your head up. No, you got that one. I put it too close, didn't I? We'll put this one a little further, make you reach for it here. Come on. Little out of your reach this time, isn't it? Come on. You can do it. You're not that fat. Yes, you are. Okay. Is that your way of saying yes, you are? Make you run for it then. That was a good shot. I made it go around the corner. Yeah, I've seen the homeless camps in LA personally. Yeah, it's just as bad as you think, probably worse. Yeah, I still don't know what to think about Robert Blake after the Bonnie Lee Bakley incident. Yeah, I call him Beto male. No, I didn't hear that Harry lost all his money in the bank collapse. Bummer. President of what? Yeah, right. I How's Flash? Is she fast on her feet? No, but she does actually get around. So hey, I see Nibble peering around the corner there. I see Nibble. That may be the best we're gonna get to her. Let me see if I can coax her out with a treat. Ah, my backhand sucks. That one too. Holy cow. There we go. She got one of them. Mike got the other three. Oprah lost some too. Oh well. I always wonder what the logic is of letting people wear masks in the stores. That just that just sounds like a bad idea. Yeah, Nibble just doesn't like making her appearance. Oh, I see her again now. She is peering around the corner a little bit. Half of an orange face there. Yes, she is. She just does not. She is not a people person or people cat. You're not a person at all, are you? Not like Bite is. She knows there's 30 of us here. Yeah, that's true. But I'm afraid she won't come out even when it's just me. Do you, Nibble? Come on, Nibble. I did kind of perk her up a little bit, but she's not coming out much. Yeah, there we go. Got her to come out a little bit. My backhand sucks. There, we got her one. I keep hitting the wall. There's a good one for Nibble. That release sucks too. You think I'm giving them all the bite here, but I'm a horrible shot. Bite stole that one from Nibble. Always the gentleman. Oh well. Now the cats aren't really into catnip. I do have some around here. It's in little pellets though. The toxic twins are even more crazy with catnip. That was for the toxic twins. Oh, now we got bite over here. They saved you. How did the toxic twins save you? I got to hear this. Do tell. Oh, you had a mouse in the kitchen. Okay. I don't think my cats would ever catch a mouse. There was a mouse in the house in California once. A mouse trap caught it. What's for dinner? I pulled out a rack of ribs last weekend. I was going to try and do maybe just put it on the smoker. I might try doing that tonight. I really want to try Jeff's smoked ribs recipe. Yeah, never got Jeff to stop by today. I saw he was at the church service because his church service always gets posted on Facebook. Okay, well, let's all tell our favorite Jeff Kidd story. Yeah, Nipple's peering around the corner again. I see a little orange face. Yeah, the mice don't like it outside where it's cold. Gotta finish up the water here. We're almost done. No, I don't think I'll pick up a Texas accent. The truth is, you don't hear that much of it here. You know, I was in Texas probably when I was, my teens, and it seemed to me it was a lot more prevalent then. Every once in a while, you hear somebody that has a serious Texas accent, but I don't know. I don't think I'll pick up one. I've been in California too long, and there's just not enough of it out there for me to pick up like any mannerisms like that. I am a slow drinker today, Charlotte. Spring is coming soon. Yes, it is. We're an hour early today because of daylight savings time. How about wearing a cowboy hat? I don't know. I would thought it might be funny to wear one just as a joke on a live stream. Started to ask if I know any Spanish. Yeah, dos tequilas, por favor. Rito Supreme. I can understand a little Spanish, but not to the point where I would speak it. Yeah, it sounds like the cats have you well protected there. I prefer to catch them live if I can. I know I used to have problems with possums in my yard in California, and I'd catch them live and just transport them somewhere else. See you, Tracy. Thanks for stopping in. Great talking to you. Remington is a champion mouser. All right. Yeah, sounds like you're well protected then. Got plenty of competition to take out the mouse population. What do I do with the mice? Just take them and relocate them. I've never caught a mouse live though, but I've caught probably a dozen possums live. Catches them, holds them down, licks them to death. Kind of regretting I didn't turn on the ceiling fan today. It's getting a little stuffy in here. Would have figured because it's kind of cold out today, I wouldn't have needed it. Hubby says they were dripping with saliva. Yum. It's snowing in Michigan. In other news, rain is wet. They get always snows in Michigan. Okay, Rhonda's going to post pictures on the Facebook page. Another reason to get on the Facebook page, everyone. You want to talk to Rhonda? Rhonda's a moderator on the Facebook page. You can talk to her all week. You don't have to wait till Sunday afternoon to talk to her. You can talk to her anytime you want. Just snowing on the west side of Michigan. Okay. Rhonda's 5 foot tall, and the snow drifts are higher than she is. What do the cats do when the fireplace is on? They haven't really figured out the fireplace. Bite loved the fireplace I had in California. It was just a gas one, and he'd come and lay in front of it. But they don't really do anything with this one. 75 inches, that's a lot of snow. Yeah, I think the fact that there's like a little stoop in front of the fireplace makes it hard for the cats to get a good place in front of the fireplace. Like I said, they could just lay on the floor in front of the one in California and they'd be fine. And Bite loved that. In fact, I put one of his kitty beds in front of it. He loved that. Sounds like Rhonda's going to check out and go make some lasagna. We're coming to the end of this anyway, too. So I think Rhonda did post a picture once of the toxic twins. Let's see if I can find it. It was a ways back, though. It was a long time ago. Let's scan through this way back when. Back before that, back before that. Okay, that's the brief time there was a toxic triplet. Let's see here. I know this is a really enthralling video, me scrolling through my Facebook page, but some of the stuff people post here is really funny. Okay, we're back to Christmas. There they are. There's a picture of the toxic twins right there. So you can get it without the glare here. Bye, Rhonda. Thanks to the kisses, girls. Nana appreciates it. I know she thanks you for it. We're going to get to talk to Jessica next week too. Cool. Yeah, those are beautiful cats, aren't they? Can't go wrong with that. All right, so we're winding this one down, people. Got a few more minutes to go, so last chance for more questions. What's the current temp? I don't know. Let's see if this thing will tell me here. Oh, it says on the computer it's 60. That's probably about right. It was upper 50s when I started. No, we didn't get a belly rub for bite today. Honestly, those only usually happen when you ask for them, Laura. You gotta wait till bite's up here and then request one. Ever made smash burgers? I don't even know what a smash burger is. Is that where you take a burger and smash it? Yeah, it's all a matter when Jordan's around. Although, the beauty of his schedule is it's pretty flexible. So unless there's something that specifically he wants to go and do, he could probably, work out sometime anytime he wants. I do really want to go visit him. I want to see his place. Yeah, it's overcast and cloudy here, but that just means it's a nice day to be outside. Although I'm probably not going to be outside much today. Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be based on what his schedule looks like. In this case, I actually probably have a little bit more flexibility because I can ask ahead of time for specific times off. And my boss is pretty good about doing it too because I don't take a whole lot of days off. And so he wants to accommodate me when he can. I know when I did that trip to California last year to visit my mom, I just asked for the time. He said, yeah, go for it. Put it on the calendar. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not like Jordan. Sometimes I don't have a problem telling you what upcoming vlogs are. And actually, um, there's a clue right here. That's a clue right there of what I'm going to do today for my vlog. Oh, it's a fast food place. Okay, yeah, I've never heard of Smash Burger. Let's see if I can. It's one word, huh? Smash Burger locations: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona. Okay, they're all over the place here. Any in Texas? There are some in Texas. Just nothing close. Coppell, I don't know where that is. Cypress, Dallas, El Paso, Houston, Caddy, Kingwood, Pearland, Prosper, Richardson, Spring, and Sugarland. So not anything close by. Doesn't sound like a thing called smash burger would be that tasty, but who knows? Okay, John thinks it's a good burger. Donna thinks it's horrible. You know, a lot of times stuff like that just depends on the individual branch. Everybody makes such a big deal out of Whataburger here in Texas. I'm not really a fan. In fact, the first Whataburger I had was when I first moved here, and it could technically have been referred to as a smash burger because it looks like they just took a burger and went. I keep thinking of that scene in Falling Down where Defense has gotten the hamburger at the burger place, and it's like thin and pathetic looking. Yeah, that's sort of what this was like. A lot of people swear by Whataburger though. Yeah, the whammy burger. That's what it was. Fight came back, so we got a last minute belly rub opportunity here. Look at the cat fur fly. Oh yeah, McDonald's is the worst. Okay. All right. And on that note, I think we're going to pull the plug on this one. Had a good live stream today. This was a fun one. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you next time. Good night.